Good afternoon, everyone, and first review back from holiday. Thankfully, I got home first, so yes, well, I got home first. We'll leave it there. Anyway, so here is a Butlers printed models Olifant Mark II. Now, the Olifant is a South African improvement to the Centurion tank. So South Africa obviously had lots of Centurions left over, like the Malagasy armed forces do, and they converted them firstly to the Olifant 1A and 1B, which were kind of sort of marginal product improvements. Now the Mark II is the main one, which is fully improved, still with a 105mm gun, more armour on the front, more armour on the turret, and a infrared night fighting target sight, hunter killer system sight for the commander. So a really good piece of equipment. I'm also led to believe it has a double hull. Now this is a Butlers printed model, resin model, so it doesn't actually have an underneath. I may add a plate underneath. Now the Olifant is one that I have wanted to get in the collection for some time. So it does weigh 60 odd tons, I think 65 max. The armour is modular, but it's a real improvement on the Centurion's armour, which was the main problem with the Olifant Mark 1 and 1B. The engine is the diesel, which is the same, I think, as an M60 tank. Can be had in various levels of tune, up to 1,000 horsepower. So one of the options I've got is obviously for the Malagasy forces is, here's one of their upgraded Leopard 1s or Leopard 1A5s. Now these don't really have the armour to sustain use in combat. The Olifant, though, is a good option for the Malagasy forces to recondition their Centurion hulls and use those, because with this extra armour, it's like a Leopard 1A5 Mexus in terms of configuration. So your base armour is actually stronger anyway on the Centurion, with that double hull to protect from IEDs and mine blasts. This modular armour to give you protection against heat warheads, missiles. It is a good option. I think the other good thing about the Mark II is it has the ammunition here in the bustle with blow-off panels, and that is far superior to the arrangement on the Leopard. So you can put as much armour on the Leopard as you want, but your hull ammunition is down here, your turret ammunition is spread around the turret. If it gets a hit, boom, it's dead. So this is a much better form of protecting the tank, and that's the main difference between tanks like the Abrams and the Leopard 2. When they get hit in Ukraine, with the blowout panels, they don't do a Russian tank and flip the lid. The reason the Russian tanks flip the lid, apart from the T90, where they finally got armour separation correct on the latest models, but not the earlier ones, is because they have a carousel autoloader. So the minute you get a penetration to the tank, that carousel autoloader, unprotected ammunition, boom, off it goes, off goes the turret. So Leopards do get destroyed in Ukraine, Leopard 2s, Abrams do get destroyed in Ukraine, Challengers do. Challenger has a different stowage system, which I'm not going to talk about in public. But once they get hit with the blow-off panel, it gives the crew time to escape. And the most important thing, as the Israelis found on their tanks, is the crew. So if you can protect the crew, and the way the Merkava does it, it has the engine at the front and the ammunition at the back. If you can get the crew out, keep the crew alive, you can give them a new tank. The crew are the most important part of the vehicle. So I've got an option. I've got the Merkava 4s. Not many of those in Malagasy service, maybe up to 50, 60, plus the namers, maybe up to 120, including the namers. I can give the reserve units the Olifant and start bringing Centurions back, because base level it is a much better protected tank than the Leopard. Interesting. Or I can do it as an allied vehicle as South Africans on exercise. I'll do a poll. Let me know what you think. The Butlers model is delightful. I will just add a hull plate underneath, just to tidy it up. But casting, this is 2 resin pieces I love the Butlers stuff. It's just superb. Now underneath here you will find there is a gap here. That is correct. Although there should be a Centurion turret inside there, so I may just box that off. But yeah, what wonderful casting from Butlers. Wargaming models, but I really like them. And some may say, well, they're not as good as, say, Trumpeter or as D'Agostini. Well, here's a D'Agostini Chieftain, just for comparison, which looks great, and I bought this from eBay. Someone has weathered it. Already you can see one of the road wheels has popped up, so that needs fixing. But have a look here underneath. You can see that that's where the turret join is, and that's where the hole join is, so that needs some work there. This is a D'Agostini or Amacom LVTP7. So again, you can see that the plastic needs a repaint, so I'll be working on that. So that's the difference when you buy kind of printed models. The printed models are great, but they don't always have underneath detail because that's where the printer has to go. But the resin prints from Butlers, I just love them. Superb. Thank you, Butlers. Butlers, please keep making tanks. Please make a hovercraft, maybe a ship. Take care. Goodbye.